that does not cost a lot of money.
So it was just your logic. So we don't know what the real figures are, but your logic should be, what if you believe that NPV is, well, 200 million is your best estimate for the middle one, and your 1,000 million is your best estimate for the bottom one, you should have been voting the bottom one.
But we didn't want to go on with an assumption that we don't believe is right, that the water doesn't cost any money. So we went to something that's more realistic of 207 million.
Let's come back to that. So in your notes, the process is costing at 8 million in the example that you gave. You said you could scale it up by a factor of 3, so that's
24 million, yeah.
So even if you double the process, it costs 8.
Yep.
That's not very much.
But filtration each year does not cost anything to get rid of the water.
No, most of it is CapEx. The variable operating cost is very small. These hydrocyclones, once you have installed those, you need to double the number of hydrocyclones perhaps. We have lots of bench space on an FPSO, that's why we use FPSO compared to semis typically. So I hear what you say.
Yeah.
And you're not saying that you don't have cause for argument, but you're not arguing it properly. That's what we're saying. Okay? So we're not disagreeing with you that the extra water handling costs money.
Yep. I don't believe that.
But you're waffling on and
But
you're not.
I don't believe it's 800 million difference.
No, that's right.
Okay, so I'm going to go right back to the back end. So I guess, Arian. Yeah, okay. So you had a P10, P90 range on OOIP of 43 to 50, which you recognized was small. Okay. What sort of input PDFs did you have on the parameters that gave that range? Because obviously the range that you get as a result of depends on the input parameters that you put in. So noting that it was a small range and noting that uncertainty is a big deal in our industry, I would have been inclined to sort of go back and say, okay, do you think I've got the right sort of input ranges here? Were you not a bit suspicious about that?
Yeah, I was suspicious about the numbers initially. I went back over the uncertainty ranges that were provided and recognised that the uncertainty ranges that were going into the model. So it was a triangular distribution that had been used, and recognised that the uncertainty ranges that had been specified were quite narrow, and thought about widening the uncertainty, but rationalised it in light of the fact that the formations had been penetrated 5 times, 5 different locations, and wireline logs have been set down each of those wells. And I guess I came to the conclusion that with that much information at hand, that the uncertainty could be narrowed quite a lot. So I guess I went ahead with the values that were provided with a little bit of faith, that they were providing an appropriate level of uncertainty, in saying that the deterministic ranges of uncertainty were a lot broader than the probabilistic. But that's what the numbers provided. The only thing I could really think to do to widen that a little bit, for instance, with the cross-rock volumes were provided with a certain level of uncertainty, but we made some approximations, and making them triangles, we could have probably widened the uncertainty in the cross-rock volume a little bit further.
I guess maybe the problem is taking the data at face value, so it's limited amounts of data. So using, I guess, what I would have done is add an additional factor in to the uncertainty for not just the data. The data is telling you, but how uncertain the data itself, the quality of it, the amount of it, and what you know.
I considered doing that. I wanted to give Peter, who provided us with the data, a result that was representative, perhaps, of what he was expecting us to get from the data he provided. So he could judge whether we'd done an appropriate job according to what he was expecting. That's about it, really.
I've got a question on the KV to KH. So I assume the KV to KH was parallel to bedding. Actual world, is that correct or not?
We assume that KH is parallel